All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Tuesday. It has been quite a day. It has been a day. It has been a day, but we are here, relationship recap coming to you on a Tuesday because we had an interview that I felt like after seeing all the comments from Sunday's show that we needed to go ahead and do. So I want to go ahead and say welcome to everybody that is here. For those of you that are here, make sure that you go ahead and share this on YouTube, share this on Instagram, so that you can make sure we can make sure that the people that are usually a part of this are here as well. I would love for us. I'm trying to see if I can get this to go to Instagram as well. Let me go ahead and bring my co-host in while we do this. Let me go ahead and bring my co-host in. I'm gonna let him hold it down while I try to stream this on Instagram. Scorpio Moe.
Yeah,
What's good? What is good? How has your Tuesday been? First of all, this has been a crazy Tuesday.
it has. Afternoon yesterday, going into this Tuesday with all the news,
Man.
pop culture news, and reading these comments and all stuff like that. They even starting early too. I see already, man.
Yeah, I felt like after Sunday's show, we needed to go ahead and go we just needed to go ahead
Right,
and
right, right.
get in today, so that we could go, hold on, add live details. RTL recap. We could go ahead and have this conversation because
Absolutely.
people are going off on Laron. People are going off on you.
Yeah.
People are going off on me. Like it just has. It's a lot. It's a lot going on. So I'm trying to see if we can go ahead and stream this also to Instagram. You guys know I've been trying to get it done, trying to get it done. I don't think we can do it, but I tried to make it. See, let's see if we can get Instagram to go live also.
Hopefully, we could I don't want to say set straight because I don't think we're gonna change anybody's mind or anything. But
Mm-mm.
but I will say this though. I will say this.
What's that?
Um, devil's advocate. I'm not sure if the viewers are aware or know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I just want people to start looking at the definition. I think on this program, um, we might agree on the side, but I think it's just for conversation wise or just to see another point of view. We try to play devil's advocate to try to get people to look at it from another angle. Not necessarily change their mind, but just be open minded and just listen. And
Mm-hmm.
I think once you do that with some people, they forget all the stuff after that, and they think that the devil's advocate is what you're trying to push, and it's like you're just trying to show another. And I just think that's part of your job, and that's part of why I'm here is to show another side. Not necessarily saying that side is the truth, but to get you to look at things from another angle. That's all. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, I think, I will say this, and I told you that you have to be, hey, Moati, you have to have thick skin to be on here because the viewers are sometimes happy and the viewers are sometimes angry. And, I also feel like, this is everybody's Instagram channels are different. People do a lot of comparison. I'm happy. And that just says that Kojo is interviewing with Dom right now. His interview is much better. He is not doing a lot of cussing on Kojo's interview. That's fine. I think we're two different platforms. I can appreciate Kojo, but we do different things. Even and I have a lot of respect for him. So there's no need to compare. But I also am like at the point where, like I said, you have to have very thick skin with this because people will love you one day and hate you the next or be
Yeah,
angry at you. I don't care either way because I feel like I always hold the conversation the way I feel has integrity, and that's what we always do. But we also want people to feel comfortable. I feel like a lot of times people in the comments are extremely judgmental,
yeah.
and coming from a perspective that you child, if we saw the cameras turned on you in your life, it would not be people would have a lot to say about you as well.
Yeah.
So I am not, I'm not here for the comparisons. I'm not I'm not here for anything other than us putting together a perspective of male and female. I also want to make sure, I asked Scorpio Moe to come on with me because we've been friends for a long time, and I feel like he's honest. I don't want a man on this channel that is going to pander to women and not tell the truth. And so, whether that truth is received or not, it is the truth. And so, with that being said, you know, I felt like it was important for us to have Laron on today. I know that he's been doing a lot of other interviews, and honestly, I purposely didn't watch any of the other ones because I wanted to have my mind fresh and say what I really believed has happened, and hopefully offer him an opportunity to share his side of his story, and that's it. Thank you, Gun Boss, for the reminder. You guys go ahead while we're just waiting. We're going to bring Laron on in a few seconds, a few minutes rather. But in the meantime, go ahead and let us know where you are watching from. We know that it's a Tuesday. Let us know where you're watching from.
And my prayers go to anybody that has any family that was caught up in that incident in the bridge in Baltimore too. Really, that was bugged out.
Absolutely. That was, like I said, it's been a really rough 24 hours. I also did a short clip on the Diddy situation.
Woo.
And I would just say, thank you, Annette. I understand what you're saying. I just know a lot of people do that, but I definitely appreciate what you're saying. But I think that we just have to all be mindful of not judging by what we read. Sometimes we don't know. And as a journalist and even as a former publicist, it's irritating to me how many people are quick to put out information that's incorrect. That's crazy to me. That's so many people are just going with stories. They were saying that Diddy was trying to escape to Cape Verde. It was all types of different places. One site had the fact they were tracking his plane, and the plane hadn't left the ground. The police had him, and so it was a lot going on. But tonight we are here to talk with Laron. He is the man of the hour. What is happening? It looks like we have, and so we're going to go ahead and bring Laron on so we can get into this conversation. Laron.
Yep.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm good.
Mo?
How you feel, man?
Oh, man. It's been hectic.
Yeah.
I just got back from this cruise, and I see that things going real left on the internet for me.
Things are going left for you. Now, I had to ask you, Laron, did you give someone else the link? Because I see someone else is in the backstage area.
I brought some friends. They just wanted to say hi.
Okay, it would have been great if you gave us a heads up.
My bad. It was supposed to be a surprise. It's just a friendly hi real quick. They just wanted to say hi.
Okay. All right. Scorpio Moe, I think, let me see what we got here. Cause but hey, I'm with it. Let's go ahead and bring up, it looks like we have Lamar.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Man. Yes, indeed. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Lamar. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm good.
That's good. I had to support my boy Laron, man. Yeah, that's all. We just want to say hello.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
Lamar, you cannot come on and just say hello. You're gonna have to stay. You need to stay around now.
I mean, I'll stay around. I'm gonna be here. I got some time. Let's indulge.
Let's do it. Let's have a conversation. I want to just say, first of all, to both of you guys, I appreciate you coming on the channel. We don't take that lightly. We do appreciate that. We also, this is I call it a safe space because I really welcome people on because I want to hear what they have to say. Mm-hmm. That really is our goal for the channel. But we are going to be honest. So that being said, we can have an honest conversation as adults and hopefully get some understanding, perspective, maybe come to a meeting of the minds. I think Ready to Love is a great platform because it really tells people what's going on in the dating world. on the real, right? With a little bit of hype from TV added in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
What do you think, Scorpio Moe?
I think there's some truth in there, but you know, I think it's also some tricks and bait and switch and all kind of, you know how it goes. It's you know, production has a heavy hand in this, I believe. But
Right.
you know, but a lot of it is based on stuff that actually happens. So yeah.
Yeah, I always like to put it like, you ever see those biopics and they say these events, this movie's based on true events?
There you go.
Ready to Love is based on true events. It's not absolutely true, but it's based off of true events.
Gotcha.
Yeah. What would you think? What would you say, Lamar?
I say it's an interesting process. I mean, it is produced and it's TV, and but you know, feelings get involved. People are attracted to who they're attracted to. Then you got to get that connection. So it's a process. It's more than what you see. It's a lot of work and a lot of you gotta be down for it. You know, so I just think it's a different thing. I mean, just me going to a local bar or something and being sociable, this is a different type of dating process. And so you just got to be ready for that and see what you can get.
You know what I think, as a woman, when I watch, the interesting thing is I have seen most of the behavior that was displayed on the show. But usually if you say something to somebody, if they take it one way, you don't hear them talking about it in a confessional, right? So, you know, out of all the horrible dates I had when I was single, I never had the opportunity to talk about how I felt about the guy on live, right? Or I didn't, right? I guess I could have, but I didn't. So I think that's the difference. I think when people see behaviors, you get a chance to talk about it and it airs on television, right? So I'm sure it's produced. I mean, I've worked in television for years, so I'm aware that it's produced. But I will tell both of you guys, for me being a publicist for 20 years and working with some of the biggest celebrities in the business, I've noticed that usually who you are on television is a piece of the reality. Now, it may not be the entire kit and caboodle, but I've worked with Housewives, Love, all these different reality shows. And somebody would be like, I'm not like that. I came off as like loud and obnoxious. And I'll be like,
you kind of. I feel you.
So what do you guys think about that? Do you think, in any case, I will start with you, Laron. In any case, do you think that what we saw was a representation of one side of you?
Well, I absolutely don't eat catfish like that. Let's just put that out. Let's start there. So let's start there. Other than that, I don't know, man. I just thought I was on a lot of weird dates. A lot of stuff that we did, I probably wouldn't have done in real life besides the Bruce City thing. So I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so, but you know, it's always weird looking at yourself through somebody else's perspective.
True. Laron, what about you?
Well, me? You say me? Lamar? Okay, yes. Well, I'm gonna say, yeah, a lot. I agree with what you said. Of course, yeah, it's a piece of that person. Yeah, that's me. I'm just gonna jump a conversation off. Is that me? Is that what it's about? No, not necessarily. But I'm gonna push the envelope. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about some things. I mean, we're speed dating. Keep in mind, we're speed dating. I'm here. I'm there. I want to see where you at. Let me see how. Are you spontaneous? You know, I might have pushed it over the edge some, you know, but I don't. That is me. That's my personality. That's my character. That's who I am. I'm not rude. And if you felt offended, you would let me know. I'm like, oh, I apologize. I'm that guy, and I will apologize that. But I'm gonna push it. Let's play. Let's laugh. Let's have a great time. So I am that person you've seen. You're right. That is a piece of me. You know, could have been the right question that they showed or the right answer. Maybe not. Who knows? It depends. Each his own, right? But yeah, that's a piece of me. I'm gonna see where you at. You know, I'm 43, man. I ain't got time to be trying to figure that out. I'll be 50, 60 by the end. By the time
That's true.
So you don't believe in walking, you run into it.
Hey, let me get there. We can run together though. We can run together. Yeah.
Let me get there.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you this, Lamar, because we talked about your situation. I'm glad you're here. We wanted to get you earlier and by yourself, but we could do this. We could just all have a good time together.
Yeah.
What we felt like part of your issue, and it could, if we're wrong, I'm happy for you to explain it. We felt like you just weren't attracted to April, and that was part of why you were thrown off early on in that conversation. Because I feel, Lamar, that when a man is physically attracted to a woman, he has a lot more tolerance for what she says. I know a lot of girls that are drop dead gorgeous and have horrible attitudes, and rarely are guys short with them, right? But usually, and beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I think April's a beautiful woman, but I also think that every man decides what's attractive for him. And the way you responded to me suggested that you were not necessarily motivated by her physicality.
To me too.
I can say this. I think that I don't really, that's the thing. Attraction is a big thing. But I think it has to go with her too, because you would never ask a man so many questions. You're interrogating me. I just sat down. We just talking. That's just too much right now. This is not a dating website. You know what I'm saying? We're actually talking in person. And so if you can feel me getting a little defensive, you should have redirected. So that's just like, I don't like them biscuits. Well, let me put some syrup on it before you, baby. Okay, because I like syrup on my biscuits. So therefore, you just, as a woman, I'm looking for a queen. I'm not looking for, just a one night stand. Because that's the case, I would have took that answer, and I would have just answered all your questions, because you're gonna come with me tonight. But I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for somebody that's gonna bring me down. Some. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to. Did I? Then redirect the conversation, since you asked the question. I was a little defensive, and based off of your education and based off of everything you went through, you should have been able to do that. And so it's like, okay, well, I don't even know who you are. I really don't know you, but I didn't want to disrespect you. My thing is, no, that's not my type. She's not ugly at all. Just not my type. Yeah, she's not an ugly woman. There was none of those on the whole cast. Just like I left with Mika. Mika, I said, hey, nice to meet you. You want more kids? What we gonna talk about? Yeah, she fine. Yeah, she look good. But in reality, any man, I double back. They just didn't show that. But I double back because she is gorgeous. Yeah, to me, But if I'm looking for love and I want kids, and you saying I ain't have no more kids, then I'm like, well, it's nice to meet you. So it's just being, it's being mature about it, But if you get a little out of line a little bit, it was.
But the problem with that is you just got finished saying you like to get to it, and she was getting to it.
Who?
But you had a problem when she was getting to it.
Who's that?
What's her name?
April.
Yeah. She was because her aggressiveness in her voice. She's very aggressive. She's like she talks aggressive.
So
I don't like that. What's that?
I don't like that.
Was it more of the tone?
Yeah, it's the tone, all the tone. I don't like I went you that because that's.
But and then I want to pivot off this. We may come back to it.
Yeah, we'll come back
because you mentioned all the stuff that she was doing, all the degrees and all that. And actually, we have a panel coming up. Shameless plug. Called Going from Business to Bay.
Yes.
And that is going to be here in Atlanta. Laron is going to be on that panel, and Scorpio Moe. And part of that conversation is, do men have an issue with women who are career driven, right? So you mentioned in your confessional, it was a lot with, I don't care about this, and this. And I don't think that's wrong, because I actually have a book that says, Dear Alpha Female, men don't, it's not him, it's you. So I agree. A lot of times men don't want to hear your resume, right? But how much of it, you mentioned her tone, but how much of it was you felt like she was bragging about her accolades?
Because she said it. I didn't say all mine. I didn't say, I was a basketball coach. Yeah, they just put coach, entrepreneur. I've done a lot for communities, my nonprofit, my business I started. I want to get to know you. We'll talk about that later. Maybe pillow talk. Who knows, right? So my thing is, we can talk about that at a more intimate setting. Right now, we speed dating. So congratulations. I know everybody on this show is successful, or you ain't gonna be here on the show. And so I don't want to hear that. Let's talk about me and you. You know, it's like you're putting your accolades on screen and not really trying to find out about Lamar. Let's find out where we compatible. Let's find out where some common ground is instead of talking about what you've accomplished. We'll get there later. And so I felt like it was just too expedited for me to really, you know, connect with that. You know, she is very successful. I'm glad she got her. I'm glad, yeah, but I don't want to hear that. If I come up to you right now, Chris, and I'm like, hey, yeah, I did this. I've been doing this for this long. Okay, but I'm just saying, I want to talk to you. Yeah,
I'm not gonna do it because I learned better, and I'm not gonna do it. But that's why I think there's a disconnect, and I do think a lot of women don't understand how all those questions can be a turnoff. I don't think that she wasn't attracted to you because of the question, her asking the questions. I think a lot of women, specifically, very type A, successful. I've been able to do X, Y, and Z. When I see a man, I want to know, do you have this, and this? Is this good on paper? And let's move forward. And I think a lot of women, I love your analogy of putting a little syrup on the biscuit. I think sometimes men need a little syrup on the biscuit when you're talking, but I think there has to be respect on both sides. Let's move to Laron, because Laron, I was actually surprised. We're going to take this slow. We're going to start at the beginning.
Oh boy.
I was surprised to see that your biggest connection initially was Koshia. And I said, quite honestly, I think that she is a beautiful woman. Obviously, everybody was very impressed when she got up. Beautiful and beautiful.
That's crazy.
And I don't mean just body wise. I mean, she's just a beautiful woman. But I did see her, in my opinion, as a little bit more mature and a little bit of a different package than I would have put with you. So, I think that's not a negative thing. I think because of maybe your age and what you have going on in life, because she seemed like a woman that was ready to get married. She's probably looking for a husband. She's, has children. She just seemed a lot more ready to get to it, as Lamar said, than you, where I see somebody like that probably needs to get to know somebody, spend a little bit more time dating, looking to build a family, all of that. So can you kind of, what's your perspective on that?
Well, the thing with me and Cole, there was just a initial interest, right? I wouldn't really classify it as a connection. I would just say there was interest, right? A lot of times, when I came into the process, I was open to being amendable to different things that I'm used to doing, which is, I'm not used to dating women with children. I'm not used to dating women of a certain age. I'm not used to dating women of a certain lifestyle. But when I came into the process, the first, 3 or 4 women that I've seen, none of them fell into those brackets. So I was just open to the process. And the only real one I felt like I connected with on a vibe level was Koshia, because, we were laughing. She wanted me to be more open. I led with the party thing, but she kind of just like put that on the back burner. It's kind of like, and was like, okay, it's like Lamar was saying, let me get to know you. You know what I mean? So I think that's where we connected at. She didn't really go for like the party facade. She wanted to get to know me. She took the time to ask the important questions, and then we just laughed a bunch. We were just laughing and having a great time by that. It was like a hot tub or something. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, Cole, shout out to Cole. So it was a good connection while it lasted.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because I obviously you guys were attracted to each other. How long before your connection with Koshia switched? And because we saw what happened at the get together when you were at the table and you were going back and forth with her, and you mentioned that she hadn't returned your calls. So a lot of people, once this whole thing happened with Maya, which we'll get to in a little while, a lot of people went back to that first conversation with Koshia and said, that's where we first saw you mention about feeling like you're not going to make me feel a certain kind. You're not going to disrespect me. I'm not going to be disrespected. You're playing with me. Like, that's when we first saw a little bit of the aggression. We'll just use Lamar's word, a little aggressive there with the conversation with Koshia. So what do you have to say about that?
Well, the thing with Cole is, the thing with Ready to Love is they have a hard time making us three-dimensional characters. I think they make us very one-dimensional because it's easier for the fans to follow. And the situation, I mean, majority of my situations on Ready to Love happened off camera, and it just didn't translate well on camera. The reason why me and Cole was going back and forth wasn't because she was watching other dudes or she was flirting with other dudes at the pajama jam. Like, they even kind of cut it weird to where they made it seem like I was watching her from across the room. But if you pause it, you'll see that I'm right behind her. It was never that case. The reason I was upset with Cole is because she would tell me one thing and do another. Like, she would tell me she didn't have a connection with X, Y, and Z. But then when you hear X, Y, and Z talk, they like, nah, we got a connection. Like, even with the whole, choke to spank thing, like, there's a reason why Zoe led to that. Like, she was doing some things that led to that. And when another cast member told me about it, it was something so specific that nobody else would have known unless she told them. So I'm like, okay, she's moving different. Also, before any of her dates, she would either call me or come to my house. And, she had that date with Chaz. I didn't hear from her for like all day. Text her at night, didn't hear from her. Then it's basically next day, we about to start going to the pajama jam. And then that's when she texted me. It's kind of like, okay, she got on alert, like, okay, men are in power. We're about to go to this pajama jam. Let me make sure I'm still good with him. So I thought we were better than just playing the game. A lot of people played the game. When it was time for elimination, they would mosey up to the other side just to make sure they were still in the clear. I thought me and her were better than that. Apparently we weren't. Sorry to be long-winded.
So at what point did you, because you did feel a way about at the pajama party, like where she was kind of like, or was it before then, when you were kind of like, you're up in these guys' faces?
That was something that happened beforehand, because she would tell me that she wasn't feeling Zoe, but then at one point Zoe put her as her top connection, and they talking about how they've been talking with each other 2-3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, you told me you didn't like her though. Then she would be like Chaz. She's sitting there calling Chaz a beautiful man and all this other stuff. And I'm like, you told me you wouldn't like Chaz because Mika liked Chaz. So it's just when you're telling me one thing and you're doing another, it's kind of like, all right, you're trying to play me now.
But okay, go ahead, Lamar.
But that actually was on TV. Did y'all remember when Coach just said, if I didn't have no kids, I'd be face down, ass up? Y'all remember that on the show?
Oh,
we don't.
That was on there though, but she said it. They showed it in the episode, and I was like, I didn't see that date that she said. She actually said that, and they showed that on the show. So what he's saying is pretty true, because I don't know about all that, but that was shown, but it wasn't talked about.
Right.
But that you're saying that, but spanked and choked and all this other stuff, but that was never discussed. Yeah. That one of the ladies said that at that time. So it kind of makes sense of how he said she was moving. I don't know. But if you say that,
well, I mean, yeah, I think that's definitely a point that would make a man respond, or at least be thinking, okay, mental note. But Laron, I gotta ask you though, because this is where I see the issue for me. First of all, you come on a show, you know that everybody has to date multiple people, right?
Right.
We all know, you guys know that. We also know that in real life, people are dating multiple people. Especially if you're going to get a beautiful woman, there's going to be somebody else around. If you get a nice looking man who's got a little something going on, it's going to be stuff around. So I just was confused, because even how you were talking about the situation with Koshia, if she had other connections, surely you did not surely you didn't come in thinking that I can trust all these women to be 100% with me. And then like in that conversation with Koshia, you obviously had a little connection or at least a attraction for Maya. So as soon as Maya walked by with the girls popping, you immediately got up, and I was like, oh my God. So if you were actually heard about her, you went over and nuzzled Maya's neck. And I was like, that just totally contradicted everything that you said.
I can agree with that, but I can agree with that, right? But when I came on the show, I think one of the biggest things, and this will set the tone. I came on the show actually looking for love. The process was for us. The show is for the fans. So I was actually looking for love. So when we were locked in and we were talking about that, I did believe her, right? The situation with Maya is just look at the material, right? I couldn't help myself. I really just couldn't help myself.
No, sir.
I couldn't help myself, and I think what I realized is that.
Hold on, you guys. Well, keep going. I gotta get something to drink. Mo.
No. So when lust took over love, or what?
No. Maya definitely wasn't lust. Maya was weakness. Like I was just super attracted to her, and I don't know.
Attracted to her at that point? Did you guys have some type of? Obviously, you had some type of rapport prior to that.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah, we did. So I think the issue. So, and I said this later in the episode when I handed her those flowers. I wanted Maya from the time that I saw her. When we first walked in and I saw her, right. I was like, boom. I literally followed maybe a producer around for 20 minutes. Like, yo, you got to put me on a date with her. You got to put me on a date with her. You got to put me on a date with her. But they just never did. Well, they put me on double dates with her. So, I mean, I just saw the opportunity to try to get some one-on-one time with her without, it's probably the wrong time to do it, but you got to strike while the iron's hot, man. You got to.
Oh, I get that, but now the more and more I think about it, you kind of had a double situation with William, right? Because William was on her, right?
Yeah.
And then there was a situation when William was part of the text message, the text with getting here, correct?
Yeah. So
had two. Were you really trying to get him out the way?
Nah. Hey, if I had to, I would have. I ain't gonna hold you. No cap. If I had to, I would have. But what was strange about William is I found him as an opportunist. When Will got eliminated, he had to reevaluate. And that's when he started going around telling everybody that I was his friend. Because at this point, everybody liked me. They might have not liked me romantically. I was always somebody's third. I wasn't like their first or their second. Like I was maybe a couple people's first or second, but I was a couple people's third too. Yeah. That's why you never see me in the bottom. Yeah. So he went around, started telling people we were friends. And then, the whole text thing, what I mean? We got through that and it was pretty much, okay, it was over. But then for some reason, he thought, I guess we were cool enough to tell me that right before the cabin trip, he was concerned about going home. So he convinced 2 women cast members to vote me off just to balance the numbers. So like, unfortunately, Dom ended up going home because my 2 votes probably would have went to William, which would have had him going home. So he was comfortable enough to tell me that. And I'm just like, yo, like, I thought we got past that. And then I saw his shady tactics where Alexis, right? Everybody thinks that I influenced Alexis to get off, which I didn't.
You said her name 5 times in the midst.
Hold on, real quick. Hold on. Before we got there, production called us and they asked us, they said, who do you want to get eliminated? I told, because they already knew about the texting thing. So I told them, everybody else told them privately. When we got there, I said mine, and then Chad said his. William voted Alexis off, and that's when the head production came in, was like, hold on.
You know what,
You guys
Laron, you know what?
I'm telling you, he said, you guys changed your vote. That's not fair. You messing with people's lives, and everybody still voted for Alexis. I think I was just that compelling in my argument on why Alexis should be eliminated.
You were compelling in your argument, which means you helped get her kicked off.
Yeah, but if there's a difference between me and the lounge.
Where did Lamar go?
He must have lost signal.
But your situation of wanting her out was based on Koshia, correct?
No. Well, yes. Yes, in part. I think so. What my understanding and a lot of other people's understanding, if it wasn't for Will and Alexis, then everybody's process would have been slightly different, because they started the mess of screenshotting what the women are saying, sending it to the guys, which changed our perspective on the women. So we start saying things, and Will was sending it to Alexis, which changed their perspective on us as well. So they created the initial drama. That's Koshia just happened to be a byproduct of that situation, if that makes sense.
Y'all, you know what? Can I just say, this season they need to totally restructure, because y'all were out. Like, this is not about love. Y'all trying to be on TV and stay on TV, Laron.
A lot of people were, and one of the head producers
was, obviously. And I'm gonna tell you this. If Koshia went to Chaz's house and did not call you back,
yeah,
okay, because Chaz. Don't never, ever, y'all have to that man had a whole home with throw pillows.
I know you couldn't sleep.
Right, like that man, it's a grown man. And I think part of the problem, Laron, you tell Lamar to come back, because you brought him on here. You tell him to come back. I don't know if he left because he was bored, but you tell him to come back. You know what? There has never been a cast member do this. I am over y'all, over Fort Worth. He done invited all the guys to
the guys.
Chaz, now if you're there, you need to come on up. Now we need that, Chaz. He should not. No.
I can't hear you, Chaz.
Mo, hold on 1 second, Christal. I'm sorry. I've been waiting all day for the sun to set for me to speak to you. All day.
You gonna tell me what record you got that?
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm an artist, visual artist, and I'm a poet. It's all me.
There it is.
All right.
There it is.
All right.
There it is.
But yeah, I think she saw Chaz and she said, okay, with Laron, I maybe got like 3 to 4 years worth of work, and she saw Chaz's house and was like, okay, he's where I want Laron to be.
With all due respect, it's going to be more than 3 or 4 years.
What you think, Chaz? What you think?
Nah, he's close. He's about where I was at that age.
No. Now I'm speaking from a woman's perspective, and I like Laron. He knows that. I like Laron. I've liked Laron from the beginning, but no, it's more than 3 or 4 years. And I think we all understand there's nothing wrong with that. He's exactly where he's supposed to be. What I've said about Laron this whole time is, how old are you? 32?
I'm 32 now, 31 on the show.
31 on the show. Come on. Come on. It's unfair to put a 31-year-old. And how old are you, Chaz?
47.
47. That's unfair. It's unfair, especially with women that are older than Laron.
Yeah.
It's an unfair fight.
Right.
But I'm glad it happened.
Well, maybe. I'm just messing with you. But I, the problem, like I said, I want both of you guys to speak to this. Chaz, welcome. Laron, I owe you. But
I had to bring y'all a special treat, man. You know what I mean?
Laron, I don't know who's coming on. Tommy may be next. I don't know what the hell's happening. But it feels like you guys, you said you came on looking for love. That's hard to believe, Laron, because I don't think you have an issue meeting women.
No, I don't. I don't.
Okay, so
I
what?
have an issue with finding the right woman.
Right woman. There you go.
Okay, all right, okay, that's fair. Now, but if you guys were looking for the right woman, why all these games with the text? Why all and Ron, you felt more strategic than anybody because you told everybody, I'm being honest, in the car on the way to the getaway, okay, we cannot be possessive about our connections. We're not
Right.
gonna, and then as soon as you are the most
You
possessive
the main
on the
Hey, look, man. It was very easy to say in theory, but once I got her, it was just like, oh, okay, I understand now. I understand.
Not enough. That's not gonna work. Chaz, what do you think? What what would you agree? Because we said that you were just about immortal. We talked to Dominique. At this point, coming on the show, what in the world were you coming on the show for? To it? Because again, with you, I can't imagine that you have any issue meeting women. Obviously, we see your home in the background, Chaz. We see it. Now, you explain. All the women came over there, sat down, got comfortable, and didn't want to leave. You had 11 connections out of 10 women. Like, what in the world was your intent in coming on Ready to Love?
You know, I've only been in love twice in my life. And one of the mistakes that all of these ladies made on this show is when they heard of the wealth or they saw the wealth, they were too impressed and talkative of that wealth. And that to me is a red flag because life is seasonal. I'm at a high point of my seasons. I've had my low points already.
Mm-hmm.
And when you overly amplify the physical stuff,
Mm-hmm.
if that goes, you may go too. So that to me
Mm.
was a turnoff from all of these ladies.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow. I can't say anything about that. That's fair. That is fair. And I think that a lot of times women don't understand that. I had a friend of mine, say to me, you know, because I have a lot of guy friends, good guy friends, and they kind of give me a different perspective, which is why I think, you know, I can do things like this because I see it from both sides. But he said, you know, I don't think you understand if you get on a site, and Mo and I are going to do this, do a day where we both get on and take each other's profiles just to see, act as a guy. He said, if you get on it as a guy just for research and see that the women really just want a caretaker. They're not looking for love. They're looking for someone to take care of them. They are not looking for a real connection. They're looking to figure out what you have. And I think that kind of speaks to what Lamar, I don't agree with Lamar's way of handling it, and I wish he would have stayed on. But I think that's what it is. But can you speak from a man, just like what are some of the things, you don't have to name names if you don't want to, but what are some of the things that you heard? What were some of the red flags that you heard from the women in the cast that were a turnoff that women may not understand, so that they can understand, you know, that how that attitude is unattractive?
Great question.
Is that for me or LaRon?
That's for you, Chaz.
Okay. All right. Well, one lady was in the lounge, the women's lounge, and she said that she had been to my house a few times, and she said that she was the lady of my house in front of the other ladies. And the other ladies came back and told me. That was a turnoff. The other thing was just overly talking about like my physical accomplishments. I don't lead with my wealth. No, I owe you an explanation. I did not invite them to my house. Production, after they verified each of our assets and stuff like that, they wanted to film here. I'm assuming because it was cheap and it didn't cost them anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't, I didn't lead with them, inviting them into my home and filming here. And I really hate that. If you really know me, I'm a very private person. And the last place I bring women to this is my current primary home, but I have some other homes that are not as nice. And I typically bring a woman there and see how she responds and reacts before inviting her into like my main home.
Mm-hmm. Why is, and I guess I want women to hear, like, what does that say about her character? What is the response that you're not looking for, and why?
For me, when I was younger and broke, dating was easier. And the intent of a woman being with me was very clear. Once I became successful, dating is harder. And I really questioned the motive of why are you with me? Why do you want to be with me?
Hmm. Mm. Laron, what do you think about that? Do you because to me it's very clear for Chaz to have all the connections. I don't, I think the majority of the men were attractive. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But I don't think that for Chaz to have all the connections, it did seem like there were a lot of women that were very attracted to the fact that he was financially stable.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to my boy Chaz. I noticed the shift once at the pajama party, and that's after, obviously, that's after they've been to his house. Chaz had a lot of connections before they went to his house. There was a few, but it was like a topic. Like, did you see Chaz's house? Oh my God, he got 4 or 5 bedrooms. He got this, 3-car garages. Like it was a topic, and it was just like. I even noticed the way like some women started looking at him different. I had another connection, and I won't say her name, but I dropped her because I was just like, she looking at Chaz now like he's Hercules, like he's just like, you know what I mean? Like he's just gonna save her. And a lot of women said it. They were just like, yeah, you take it to the suburbs, or it was. They looked at him, obviously like he's a good-looking guy. But then they looked at his wealth like, okay, this guy is going to save me from my current situation. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's the sentiment that I got.
The truth. Yeah.
I can believe that. So that explains a few things about the overwhelming at that point then.
Yeah. Oh my God. You should have seen how they were fighting over this dude.
Okay.
Well, we saw a little bit. We saw a little bit, but I do want to say this, and I want to ask all three of you guys to chime in on this. I think that I always tell my guy friends, because I work around a lot of men that are very wealthy, right? And so men are very usually superficial when it comes to women's looks, right? Chaz, obviously you keep yourself in shape. Obviously you're going to want a woman that looks a certain way. And that's probably your first thing that you're first attracted to. I would say that's probably the case for all three of you. So I would tell my guy friends that are like, wealthy, fair exchange is not robbery. So you want a woman that looks a certain way. Women by instinct are always attracted to a man that's able to provide, right? That's not a negative thing. I think it becomes a negative thing when that's all you care about. But I think just like a woman with a small waist and curved hips is considered attractive to men, I think that women are looking for a man that is able to, if you're saying you want to fall in love and you want a husband, you cannot marry someone who's not prepared to take care of the family or lead, specifically to lead. How can you lead if you're not together? So what do all three of you say to the fact that we understand and women accept the fact that you guys are physically motivated? But why is it an issue when women are security motivated? Because I don't think it's just financial. I think it's security. I think it looks like a man that I know for myself. I got married almost 4 years ago. And it wasn't about what my husband had, but I did appreciate the fact that I had my own, and he knows that. Never needed anything from him. I wasn't looking for him to save me, but I wasn't going to marry a man or take a man seriously that wasn't stable. Not going to happen, because I'm not, that's just not what, to me, husband represents. So I'm going to start with my co-host. Mo, what do you say to that?
I would just say that the beauty catches my attention. It doesn't hold me there. It doesn't keep me there. I'm just physically, okay, now that we got that over the way, what else do you have? And then it's character, so on and so. Now, if you ain't got the rest of that, then I'm just looking at you and keeping it moving. That's what it is. Now, but you're talking about security and that whole thing. That's stability. That's you staying there and living. And to me, it's not the same. To me. And these men, even Laron, even he's 32, right? Even at this point in his life, it's like, okay, when you're 20s, you might get caught up with beauty and put up with certain things just because but after a seasoned man just becomes, all right, you're beautiful, but what else you got? And if that's all you got, especially in a town like Atlanta, then
or Dallas.
Gotta be more to the table than that. That's it.
Yeah, because in Dallas, I mean, it's harder to find ugly women than beautiful women. It's beautiful women everywhere. And so I like, yeah, you definitely got to be more than beautiful. But I do understand, like, I understand that women, there's no such thing as a desirable trait is not a broke man. I've never heard a woman say, "Yeah, I want me a broke dude." I understand that, but it's like what Mo said, when they only focus on that, like, you can find a drug dealer that got a little bit of bread,
Right.
you know what I mean? But what about his character, right? Like, it's not just about how much money you make, but what do you do for the money? And I think that's where I kind of draw the line. That's why I don't even like telling people what I do for a living or where I work, because I think once you tell a woman that, they can kind of gauge what kind of respect level they have for you. And
It is.
that's really, yeah.
That's
So
crazy. That is really crazy. You guys feel like a woman will respect you specifically according to how much money you bring in?
I told you that. I've been told you that.
Not in those words, but not in the. I mean, the way he articulated it, for a woman to look at what he does, because Laron, I think you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're doing great. You're in a great space as far as where you're at 32, career wise. But to think that a woman would hear what you're doing and start to treat you and respect you that way is sad, and that means that there's issues on both sides. Chaz, what do you think about the overall attraction that women could have? Is it an issue if a woman does appreciate the fact that you have worked hard and you have accomplished, specifically if she's done the same thing?
No, I'm not threatened by a woman's success at all. I think a woman should definitely pursue her dreams, and if that is to climb the corporate ladder, to do so. I don't think there's nothing wrong with a woman that seeks a man for security. My mother didn't work. My father provided for my mother all of her life, and she was an adorned woman. So I learned from my father to do the same thing. One of the things my mother didn't do was prioritize my father's wealth over the love and the condition of the home that she provided. So I think when a woman amplifies the money and the wealth and what she can get from it, that's just a turnoff from what I received in the home with parents that were married for 48 years.
Let me ask you this: why, for you especially, because so we joked a lot about the fact that you seem to have all the things in place, right? And again, I think a lot of that is because you're a lot older than some of the guys, so you've had time to get yourself in a position, make some mistakes, understand what works for you, and get more comfortable in your skin. But at the point that all the females are expressing connections with you, and you seemed to be enjoying that connection. So to hear you say that you were turned off by the fact that they were doing that, we didn't really see that on camera.
Well, I'm going to be a nice guy. I signed up for a show. I signed a contract. They were holding me to that contract. And honestly, all of my prior dating experience since I became successful hasn't really worked out for me. So that this show was an experiment for me to kind of put myself out there, really talk about my life, be more transparent, and really consider women that I wouldn't typically consider. So, and this is no shade, but like, I don't typically run into like, no, I'm not trying to be funny. I don't typically run into like a hairstylist or a flight attendant. You know what I mean? Like, so
Who do you
it
run
was a,
into?
huh?
Just corporate women?
Yeah, corporate women, professional women. Like especially where I live out here in the burbs, like there's a lot of other types of women with careers. So this was just something new for me to like really consider, because all of my other decisions didn't work out. So let me just see if this actually works out for me.
Why do you think because obviously at 47, you have the opportunity to be self-reflective. And I ask everybody, I'm going to ask Laron next, but I think he probably hasn't had as much experience as you have at 32. You're just kind of starting to get out there and understand who you are. But what do you think has been the problem? Because, for 47 have been in love twice, why do you think you've been unsuccessful in the love department?
I'm going to be honest. I did not prioritize love. I prioritized making money, building a dynasty, building kingdoms. I have a plan A through a plan M in case something goes wrong that can account for any seasonal change in my life. So
Mhm.
that was my priority. My father actually told me, don't get married, son, until you're 45. 45 was my cutoff to begin looking for a wife. Anytime before that, I literally wasted ladies' time.
Mhm. That's that is. I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate you saying that. My husband is 47, and he told me this year he was like, and he's been married before. He was like, honestly, I really wasn't ready, at before now. I got married at 20. My husband was 23. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. And I think he was a good person, just way too early to be married. Laron, what about you? What was your dating like? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, you you seem a little uncomfortable with beautiful women that are going to get a lot of attention, and how you handle that and how you view yourself when you're dating somebody that is definitely going to get a lot of attention from a lot of other competitive men.
No, I don't feel uncomfortable. All I mess with is baddies. So let's set that right there. My whole thing is how you handle the situation, right? Like, to me, and I know what situation you're talking about. So when you set a tone with me and you say, "Oh, I don't like guys who be in a lot of women faces," that's a red flag. You're too friendly. And then when I take you out, the next thing I see you doing is being friendly. Then it's kind of like it's to me, it's all about contradiction. You're trying to set a set of rules for me that shouldn't apply for you. And we'll get to that episode because we definitely need to, because
Mhm.
those are lies. Number one. But yeah, I've dealt with baddies all the time. I really only try to date women just for like surface levels, to be honest. I'm similar to Chad. I grew up extremely poor, like extremely poor. And every year it was just me trying to focus on getting to that next level from making, in 2016, I was making $12 an hour. And now, fast forward, not even 10 years later, I'm making way more than that. So that's just been my goal. And every time I would meet a woman, especially like women my age, late 20s and get to my 30s, they like to play games. And I don't have time for that. I really don't. If you're distracting me from my goals, then I just really don't want to deal with you. I just don't. I don't have time to be playing. I don't have time to be figuring out, oh, is this going to work or not? And I value my money. So if I'm spending my time and my money on you, I expect a certain I expect a certain level of I guess trust and security and consistency from you. That's just how I move. And I've always set that standard up front. It's never something that I just pop out and just, I know they own me trying to make it look like I'm crazy. For some reason, they have a grudge against me, but I'm not like that. And you saw the digital exclusive. I set that standard right there. That I am territorial. I am, but I'm gonna let you handle the situation and see how you move. And then when off camera, she tells me the same thing. I'm thinking we on the same accord. Like, so.
Laron, let me ask you this. Let's stay with that digital exclusive, because when I saw that, I was like, this is worse. Because first
Worse.
of all, yeah, because that was not your girlfriend, correct?
Mm-mm.
So unless now, because we talked about this Sunday, unless you took her out, we're talking about the situation with Maya. For those of you that are just joining, shouts out to the chat. Shouts out to Kojo in the chat. What's going on?
Yeah, Kojo, what up?
Kojo.
But but the when you, unless a person, and now if I go on a date with a guy, right, and he brings me there, or we meet there, specifically the two of us, and then I am actually, if we meet there and we don't have any agreement to belong to each other, then if I'm talking to someone else, he has no right to call me outside of my name, and I have no right to do the same to him. You cannot make, in my opinion, and you guys can, Scorpio, you can let me know, Chaz, you guys let me know what you think, but you cannot set boundaries when we have no agreement. We're just dating. We're dating on a television show. This is unserious until there is something said that we're going to do. And as a woman, men are always telling us, hey, We are open. We're dating. We haven't, there's no, until a man says it's you and you both agree, we don't own each, we don't, and you never own a person, but there's no right to getting upset. So I'm thinking now, if you brought her to the club and you guys were on an official date, that's one thing. If you guys met there, which is what is suggested, and there were other men she was talking to, you might have felt disrespected, but I don't feel like it violated what you set up in that conversation, because that conversation sounded like, this is what happens if I am dating a woman and I'm with a woman and she doesn't handle it. I allow her to take care of it. And then if she don't, I say something. But you can't just do that on girls that you have a crush on.
No, so okay, so there is a big timeline difference between that digital clip, what happened that night, and the clip that they showed on the episode. That digital clip. You saying something? So that digital clip is where I first got Maya to agree to go out with me.
Okay.
We went on a date outside the show. She came to my house. She saw my. I have art on my wall, and she saw basically an art piece. It's my friendship art where I have basically a bunch of my friends on it. She saw the women on my thing, on my art. She said, she said, you got a lot of female friends. I don't like a dude who has a bunch of women in his face. I don't like a friendly ass nigga. Boom. To me, that sets the tone. That date went amazing. That's where the first set of pictures that I posted on my Instagram came from.
Okay.
Then, boom, we were supposed to go to another restaurant, but I wanted to be cheap, so I invited her to Lava. It wasn't a club, it was a lounge. So, boom, that's when we met there, and a bunch of other cast members just happened to be there. So, Rashina showed up. I may have, or Maya may have invited Mika. So when we were walking around, we having fun. I went to the bathroom. I came back and I seen some dude up on Maya with her phone out. So I'm thinking she's getting his number. I did not snap then. I did not snap at all. Maya and Mika both confirmed on Kojo's channel that I did not call Maya a B and yell at her at that club. Me and Zoe went and had a good time. Boom. We had such a good time. We went to another spot. From there, I got a section. Everybody got in. We taking shots. We still having fun. I start remembering, okay, wait a minute. She's playing in this dude's face. So I get up and the first time I went just to walk around, calm myself down, came back. Some girl was trying to holler at me, and I was like, all right, I'm a little drunk. Time to go. Mika came outside and asked me, what's wrong? Your energy is different. Are you mad because of the dude? I said, nah. And I'm just talking to her as like my friend. I said, nah. You know what I mean? F that. You know what I mean? I get bees. Me and Jonathan just had some bees at my house. I ain't tripping off that. I'm about to go back to that situation. I never yelled at Maya in the club. I never called her a bee in her face. Mika and Maya both confirmed that on Kojo's channel twice. So I never knew Maya thought I called her a bee until that episode pretty much aired.
What about when the producer asked you, why did you call Maya?
So they said, why do you think Maya called her? Why do you think
Maya thinks you called her a bee?
Yeah. I said, because I did according to Mika, and they cut the according to Mika part out. They were playing games. And Mika and Maya both confirmed that I never called Maya be in her face. That's just them playing games. Now you notice that I am in a suit, right? So that means that confessional was filmed 2 weeks later. Maya is in black in her confessional. When they told us to wear all black, that was the day before the reunion. So this is months later. I already took Maya out for her birthday. We already went to a little baby concert together. We done had plenty of time together between that time at Lava to that time when she recorded that confessional. That's why there's a slight difference in the lounge where she's just like, she didn't tell Tommy I called her a B. because that was in July. She didn't say I called her a B until October when she was in all black in that confessional. That's own and light heart playing games with y'all.
Well, she said it. So what about in the ladies' lounge when she said that you had said some things that the way you acted, it showed that she felt like you were insecure. What?
Because she heard that from Mika. She heard that from Mika, which she admitted again yesterday. She heard it from Mika. I got thrown under the bus over hearsay. You said what?
Why would Mika say this?
You want to know
the truth? Tell the truth, Laron. Tell the truth.
I think Mika was jealous of Maya. She was jealous the way I treated Maya. She was jealous the way I pursued Maya. She was jealous the way I did for Maya. Mika kept calling me a simp over things that I was doing for Maya. I was buying me and Maya some Drake tickets, and Mika was just like, "Oh, you're a simp." But then later on, asked me for the Drake tickets. I was doing things for Maya that Justin just was not doing for Mika, and I think Mika was jealous. She one time called me and told me she got in an argument with Justin, saying that me and Maya went on more dates than they did, and they were actually a couple. Like, she was jealous. She may not wanted me. She wanted the attention and the things that I did for Maya to happen to her. And honestly, like she told Chaz, she wanted a spinoff. She wanted to be the only one at the bridge.
Everybody wants to spin off. Hey, Dr. Camille, what's going on, girl? Thank you for joining us tonight. If you guys just joining, this is a full conversation. We got Chaz and Laron in the building tonight, and Scorpio Moe and I are trying to make some sense of all this. I actually believe what you're saying, Laron, that you didn't say it in her face. But what I will ask you to speak to is you said a lot of things on camera when it looked like you were inebriated. So do you think that perhaps even for you going outside and saying your mood changed, and if you notice in the story, you said you were here, everything was fine, drinking a little bit more, got here, and then all of a sudden I started thinking about it. So do you think that maybe the alcohol had you thinking about it a little bit more and getting upset? Because, and it sounds also like Mika calling you a simp threw you off.
Yeah, it did. And honestly, that was one of the reasons why I got so upset of Maya. In all honesty, she may have not been getting her number. She said she knew the dude. That might be the case. But to me, it set the tone for the other women to start showing me disrespect. Because it's like, oh, this dude invited you out and you still getting some other dude number. It set the tone for them to say, okay, I don't have to respect him. You don't respect your man, which I wasn't her man, but from the show's perspective, I'm her man, right? You don't respect your man. Why should I? And one of the things I tried to stress to Maya is in Dallas, a lot of dudes would try to talk to the girl you come with just for bragging rights.
Yep.
Oh, you see that dude over there with that girl? Oh, he was in the bathroom. I took his girl. I got his number. I got her number.
Yeah,
She's green like that. She is friendly, but she doesn't understand dudes' dynamics.
Or maybe she does.
And Christal,
maybe she does. Yeah.
That's a fact. So let me ask you this. So you kind of said what was Maya's situation with it. So the ladies were aware that maybe Maya wasn't as into you as you thought she was, and that's where the whole simp thing came in.
Oh yeah, I mean you should see what's me and her got into it around my birthday.
Mika. Okay.
Me and Maya got into it a little bit after my birthday, which was in November. I finally let her know, like, yo, these women are not your friends. These women are telling me that I'm in a sunken place. These women are telling me to come holler at them. These women are telling me I deserve better than her. These women are telling me they can treat me better.
The women on the show? The other women on the
show? Yes. I had one of the women come clean my house and rub my feet.
Laron, you need to say who that was. I mean, come on now. That's crazy. That's
Go ahead, say it.
You need to say who it was, because this is the thing.
There's only one masseuse on the show.
But
say the truth. Tell it.
Patrice. And then even Patricia, Mika was trying to get me to leave Maya to mess with Patricia.
I'm not surprised. I'm going to tell you why. I'm not surprised. because the pivot that Patrice made, and Chaz, I said when you were in the chat the other day, I was like, I wonder how he felt when we literally heard Patrice say, well, I get butterflies over here, but this person actually is he actually has, like, it was so obvious that it had nothing to do with, this is like a smart move for me. And this is some, like, how did that make you feel when you heard that? Or did you already know?
I already knew. Like, the thing about butterflies are, if you don't have him at the beginning, you're not going to get him later on.
Facts. Well, wait a minute. Women sometimes do. For men. No, I will say, I will say this, Chad. I think women sometimes, because I don't think we do like a nice looking man. I don't want anyone to think, please don't assume that we don't enjoy a good looking man, because we do. But I think that women are more driven. Scorpio Moe always says women fall in love with what they hear, men fall in love with what they see. And I do think that women are less, like, it could be someone that a friend that you have around, and then all of a sudden they make you feel safe, they make you laugh. Next thing you know, you start seeing that person different. I don't think that works for men, but I do think that works for women. Women can get, to me, and ladies, you can let me know in the chat. Dr. Camille, what do you think? I think that women, but not women that are strategically going after the money. That's not the case. But I'm saying that if it's an honest relationship and that person shows you protection and they make you feel safe when they're around, women want to feel safe, emotionally safe, financially safe, spiritually safe, mentally safe. And so I feel like that is why a lot of times a woman can fall in love with a man, even if she's not initially physically attracted, because the butterflies is just lust. Let's just say what it is. It's the lust. Like, I'm excited about what I think that person may be able to do later on at night. You know what I mean? Or they make me excited. But I do think that women can
forced though. And Chaz is with her. It just seems
felt forced.
To me, she was just acting.
Laron, I'm gonna keep it real. After Koshia left, when you had old girl pressed up against the refrigerator.
Nah, I was hooping. That was me on that tequila, and I said, I'm Kobe in this one. You know what I mean? I was hooping.
All right, let's switch to Chaz for a minute. We give Laron a break. We're coming back though, Laron. Let's switch over to Chaz, because Dominique was here. We had a great conversation with Dominique. And you do know that Scorpio Moe was into your top pick. He really, really likes your pick. I know you know.
Hey, shoot your shot.
Best pick for her though. Keep it real.
He did say you were the best thing initially. But Dominique was here, and Dominique said that there was a different Vanessa that showed up than we actually saw on the show. And he didn't say anything negative, but he did leave that little piece. He just threw a little piece out for us, right? So I will say this. I have seen the end. And I'm not going to reveal that because I'm going to do the right thing, but I've seen the end. And I want to ask you, do you think, based on what you've seen thus far, that the Vanessa that we see and the Vanessa that you saw were different? Because your reaction seems different. Even in this last episode, initially you seem quite taken with Vanessa, and as time goes on, you seem less and less and less. So would you agree with Dominique's statement that the Vanessa that we see on television and the Vanessa that you saw were very different?
Absolutely. She said she was acting, and I got to know the real her.
So we have to go to the second place, Chaz, the text messages, right?
I can't speak on that.
All right, but okay, are those real? Those are real text messages.
Okay. And she's been to my house more than once. It wasn't just lunch.
Okay. Did you have a genuine interest in Vanessa initially?
Yes.
At what point did that change, and can you explain why?
Yeah, it changed. Vanessa had a problem with Koshia. So the show showed it as Vanessa stayed behind with just her and I, but it was actually Koshia, Vanessa, and myself.
Mm-hmm.
And Vanessa was very disturbed that I would not put Koshia out of my house. All of us had been drinking. I wanted to make sure they were hydrated. We were all drinking water and just talking. I was actually showing them my artwork in the house and stuff. So we were just talking, but she was very irritated and became very angry
Mm-hmm.
and jealous that I would not put Koshia out of the house.
Literally, she wanted you to kick her out.
Literally. She said that to me.
Okay, so do you think that at what point, because I will say this, sometimes when there has been closeness, right, women feel very territorial. And do you think that you guys had gotten to a place where she felt like you were not being honest with her about your rest of your connections? Do you feel like you misled? Because your words, I worship. What did you say?
I said, every time I walk into your temple, I worship you. And that was true at the time.
That I'm not gonna lie, that was a beautiful but it makes sense that you're a poet, because I was like, what? Words are
Words.
words. No, women like words. We can all act like we wouldn't have fell for it, and then later be like, he said, he worships me. But so no, so Chaz, that if you were telling her things like that,
we were telling each other things like that.
Okay, so do you feel like she had a right to feel a little bit jealous?
At the beginning of the process, no. Like looking around the corner, following me throughout the house, that was weird.
She was following you throughout the house?
Yeah. The lake house?
Well, I thought that was just production playing games.
No.
Laron, don't look at the chat. Don't.
Oh, okay. I was looking for a little bit. I was like, who the heck is this?
Stop looking in the chat. That's the thing. You got to not pay attention to the chat. So okay, Chaz, I just thought that was production, editing. We know that they do that. Why? Because I don't feel I was very honest on this entire season. I don't feel like you were literally, I feel like you would not be attracted to most of the women on the show just because it doesn't feel like a fit. I didn't feel like you were honestly attracted to Rashina. So when I saw you kissing the strawberry in the titties, I was like, what is happening? What is going on?
Rashina's a good time. So like I have a very serious job. I train computers how to understand human emotion. Through voice and text, like emails, talking to an agent on the phone. So when you teach a machine how to understand a human emotion, it gets pretty stressful, right? Rashina brought out my fun side. So I was able to have a lot of fun with Rashina. We had a lot of fun dates. They didn't show all of the dates. But I mean, and there was sexual chemistry. Rashina's hot.
She is hot. I just don't, I'm saying, and you said that you don't really meet women like this. It just didn't seem like a fit personality wise. And I'm not saying anything negative about her. It just didn't seem like a fit. But I do feel like opposites attract. Mm-hmm. It felt opposite. But did you honestly felt a connection with all the women in some way?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the strawberry. And the strawberry.
To me, a lot of it came from, okay, maybe the long game might have been at the time, Vanessa, but all this in front of you, in one house, and most of the women were on you.
Majority.
I'm still a man.
That's my point. There you go. That's my point.
So Justin said it. He was like, well, she may not be Miss Right, but she could be Miss Right now.
Thank you.
So why were you moved? Why were you that emotional? Because it didn't look emotional with the strawberry. It looked fun. It didn't look emotional any other time. But when did it become emotional to the point where you were moved to leave?
Chaz, it was before you even start. I'm not buying it.
Look, when I finally talk about what happened behind the closed door, and if you can see, like Patrice said, the ladies had nothing to do with me leaving. There was another situation that occurred that I'll talk about later on, and that was the catalyst for me to get the hell out that house. It wasn't the woman. I wasn't as overwhelmed with that. but it was overwhelming. You know, a lot of people said, you know, I'm not used to getting attention. I'm not used to like the ladies. That's a lie. I'm not used to being filmed when I'm talking to the ladies and all the ladies talking to each other about what I'm saying. That's not a lie. That's the truth. So I will give an interview and I will talk about a lot of different things, including like why I left and what was the emotion and all that stuff behind. But I really want to save that for later. I'm really just here in support of Laron. And I want to say this because I notice with black men, especially when we make a mistake, when we don't show up correctly, we like to tear each other down
Mm-hmm.
and we like to crucify black men. There's other channels that have crucified me and they know nothing about me. And I just want to say we are not the sum of our worst moments.
That's
And if you can give grace, especially to younger black men,
mm-hmm.
you know, let's extend that grace because we're not perfect. We're all growing, we're all learning, and we're
Mm-hmm.
all trying to find that black love.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. But and I also appreciate you coming. And of course, we had to ask you some questions since you're here in support of Laron. But I told Laron, you know, that number one, he's young, and that's not said as a negative thing. Like we were all that age at one time. I'm, you know, definitely closer to your age, Chaz, and so I know
Oh,
that.
you don't look it, Mom.
You know what? Don't try. Don't try.
Whoa.
But the thing about it is, we have to allow each other grace, but I also think we should be honest. And I appreciate him taking accountability. Well, we're going to allow him to do a little bit more of that, to take accountability for his actions and to learn. And I think people watching the show can do the same thing. That's why I appreciate the fact that you're saying about the women, because I think a lot of women don't understand how that comes off. You know, I'm in oh Jesus, I'm in Atlanta where there's a lot. It's a lot going on, I'm sure, like Dallas, but it's just, it feels heightened because we have so much going on in entertainment here. And a lot of times women don't understand how men are judging them based on the words that they're saying, right? And I think, and vice versa. So if a man is willing to do whatever a woman wants and she's not that interested, there is going to be some disrespect, you know? So I would say to my guy friends, if you have to chase her and beg her, let her go. She's
I
not.
didn't though. I didn't. That's the crazy part. I didn't. I don't know.
From what we saw, it looked like you were very much more into her than she was into you.
That's because that's look. There's okay. You know what?
I'm gonna
don't.
drop Laron. I'm gonna drop so you can handle this. But
Okay.
nice to meet all of you guys. And
Thanks, Chaz.
Christal, I'll be in Atlanta in May. If you want to do like a sit down, we can do that. If
Yeah, let's definitely do that. I was gonna invite and extend an invitation if you would be here in at the end of April when Laron is coming for our panel, because I think that you would be a great addition to it. But I'll hit you offline about that.
Okay. All right. Have a good night.
Thank you. All right, Laron, let's get to it.
Okay. So
You gotta stay still though. You gotta stay still.
Okay, my bad. Because I just so I think where the misconception comes where you guys see Maya and how I see Maya are two different things. A lot of you guys, y'all just see her beauty and y'all think, oh, she's just so fine. She looks like she's a gold digger. Da 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 da. That's just not the way I saw Maya. I always liked Maya, especially episode 3. I was always interested, but it was really the cabin trip that really opened me up to Maya. And that morning we was sharing some, I guess, personal experiences in our life, and she shared something like very traumatic that happened to her, which was like almost unbelievable. And that's when I started to feel for her, because it's like, okay, I've been through a lot of crazy stuff in my life, and she's been through this very traumatic thing, and she came out still smiling, still wanting to be happy, still strong. I came out very jaded. Okay. And to see her, it was just like looking in the mirror, but like a better half of a mirror. And outside of my mother, I really thought this was like the strongest woman that I've known. And that's when I really started falling for her. It wasn't because of her looks at all. It's just Dallas. There's baddies everywhere. That's just how it is. But it was really her opening up and me getting to know her, and that's when I started falling for her. So yeah, after that, that's why you saw me at the refrigerator really hooping, because I wanted to be the reason she smiled. Like, That's just what I wanted to be. I wanted to be that for her, and that's why I did heavily pursue her. I did do all that because I felt like she deserved it. This is someone like she was just so fragile, and I wanted to be the one for her. I wanted to be the one to protect her. I wanted to be the one to make her smile. I wanted to be her everything. That's what I wanted to be. So yeah, it does come off like that, and maybe in reality that's what it was, right? Because at the end of the day, I learned some new things after this episode aired. So that's why it looks like that. She did show interest in me. One of our biggest things initially was that I thought that she only liked me for the show, and she thought the same of me until we started hanging out outside of the show, and that's when I realized she is really interested in me. I think she's just shy when it comes on camera. She doesn't really like looking people in the eyes and things like that. She's just a little bit shy. And that's why it comes off like that, because our first interaction was amazing, but on camera it looks crazy. And that's why they didn't show it from the third mixer when we met each other. I think it's just a little bit, she's a little shy and there's a little bit of awkwardness, and that's why it doesn't translate well on camera. But when we're in person, it's different. Like I can show you. Well,
Isn't she an Instagram influencer?
Yeah, and that's more of a reason why she's very nervous, because her whole job is people looking at her and judging her. That's why she's very nervous of when the show was coming on, she's like I had to be there for her every week to just emotionally support her, because everybody's picking apart her looks. They're not talking about her personality. It's about, oh, she's wearing this. Oh, she got her boobs out. Oh, she got this dress on. She got this. Her hair is this. Da 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 da. No one tries to actually get to know her versus just her looks. So she to me, that's the Maya I experience versus what everybody else sees.
And I don't know Maya, and I'm not saying anything negative about Maya, but I will say this. I think I think that's the power that women have, right? That is the power. We're not usually physically stronger than a man, but when a man feels like he wants to protect you, he feels like you're so vulnerable, that's when he wants to save you. That is the game that women have. So, and I am not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. I don't know that that's the case, but what I do know is when I hear a man speak like that, that's when I know that he's reeled in.
Oh, go ahead, Christal. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Mo.
No, but the same thing how she was saying, that's the woman's power. Your power is into whenever it's a situation of, let's say you guys actually were, because you went from one venue to another, but the incident really happened at the first venue.
Right.
So, and I think what Christal was alluding to, if you were drinking, then probably got to the second, it was starting to settle in your mind, and you kind of
emotions mixed with drink.
Oh yeah, you kind of in your head and overthinking. At that point you're talking to Mika, correct?
Yeah, because I thought Mika was my friend.
Right. Exactly.
You have been tricked by a lot of women. You can't it's what it sounds like.
Because she would share things with me about Justin, right? She would share things with me to where we built that rapport. Like she would call me complaining about him and their situation, and she would let me in on some insider things that I never told Justin. So I thought that's where we built the rapport. It was like, okay, you can vent to me, I can vent to you. And outside of that instance, I was able to vent. She went back and told Maya something, which I still don't know to this day. But even outside of that instance, me and Mika was cool all the way up until, I said the reunion on Kojo's interview, but I meant the premiere party. Me and Mika used to talk on the phone every day for maybe 3 or 4 hours.
But Laron, you're trusting people that you just met that are all on a reality TV show, and you did not always prove to be trustworthy yourself.
I am trustworthy. I just don't.
But did you not turn on some? Did you not turn on some of the guys?
Well, because they betrayed me. So yeah, I put the hammer down. They betrayed me.
I'm saying all you guys are betraying each other and yourselves to stay on the show. But
I get it.
But okay, so what happened with the situation? Because we noticed after the episode aired on Friday, you posted pictures, which I don't know if you were supposed to post. Owen is probably pissed because you posted pictures that basically showed you and Maya together after the show. Now,
Well, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I'm asking you, what was the status when you guys left the show? How did you guys end up sharing all these shots together? Because we see this,
That's a great concert. That's our first date.
and we see this.
Well, to be honest, while I was on the, first of all, that was a scheduled post, and I actually scheduled it for the wrong day. It was supposed to be for next week, but I messed up. But number two, it was kind of like me and her got in an argument while I was on a cruise, and like I was tight, man. I was tight, and it was kind of like, because she basically wanted me to take accountability and just apologize publicly, and that was just really my way of kind of doing it. And I wanted to remind her basically the good times, because like me and her were cool, like we were good. I even texted her the week before the episode airs, like, yo, remember the good times before this airs, because they about to show us beefing next week. And she told
So
me,
wait a minute, you reminded her about the good times. So that means, were you guys still on good terms, or were you guys not?
Yes, yes. And this is the weird part of it all, because I did not know that part. I did not know she thought that about the beef thing. I never knew that until I was on a cruise and I saw it. I'm like, yo, and then she's like snapping on me, and it was just kind of me trying to like remind her, like, yo, don't let the TV and the internet, like she told me it was just a TV show, right? She let the TV, the internet, and these bottom feeders in the comments change her perspective of me quickly. And I thought it was unfair, because every week I held her down. I was there for her emotionally. I was there for her. And the second things went left, she not only abandoned me, she got on the attack board. She started attacking me. And she even told me it's way beyond disrespect now. She's literally going to come on people's platforms and dog me. Like she told me that.
She said that to you?
Yes, I have. Yes. Kojo was in the chat. He knows. I'm not lying. She is.
So she said on a post, she said, I actually did not see him snap on Koshia until the show aired. I had no idea how intense that situation was. I was told to walk over and insert myself in the conversation. That was all production. So that was when she came over and distracted you, and you went over and nuzzled her neck. She says she never pursued you. It was not. She said that when you guys went out, you were not on a date when you went to the club. Half the cast met up at the club. A guy I know approached me and spoke right in front of Laron. No one disrespected him. I was and am a single woman. I would never introduce him to anybody. He is not my man. His actions were unwarranted and had nothing to do with me, not my problem. I simply gave him a chance because he heavily pursued me, and I tried to be open to the process. So right. That's the problem. That's the part that I read, and I'm like, okay, she's saying what we thought. It looked like you heavily pursued her. It looked like she wasn't necessarily that interested, and then she went ahead and gave it a shot, and then you guys ended up together. So you posted the pictures as a way to do what? To tell people that you were?
No, it was just to remind her, like, yo, because after the episode airs, that's what she said. I think that's the one she responded to, married to 10 years, right? That's the lady that keeps calling her a gold digger. That shit used to affect her. So now she's letting the internet affect her perception on me. Now, she said that dude walked up while I was there, but then it said I acted an ass unwarranted. But then on Kojo's comment, she said that she never seen me act like that. And that Mika told her that I said all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So you can see the contradictory there. Like, I don't want to have to pull the screenshots to show y'all, but like, I will if I have to. She's literally going, Chaz knows, the other guys knows, she's literally going on an offensive. And it's because Mika's in her ear. Some of the stuff she said is copied and pasted from what Mika used to say to me. Oh, this is your first time getting all this attention. Oh, da 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 da. Like, they're on all the women are on the attack on the guys. And that happened early on in the season when they went on a radio station and called all the guys ugly and dusty and all that other stuff. They've been on an attack since our premiere party because they were salty that our premiere party popped and theirs didn't. So now they've been on the attack all season. They've been constantly attacking us.
But you think it has to be more than just the party was popping. Like that can't be. There was a lot.
There's beef between certain cast members. And I had to choose a side, so I chose the guys. There's beef. There's somebody that doesn't like this person and so they are on this sisterhood of traveling pants BS now, acting like calling each other old, beautiful, and they don't even like each other. I showed Maya. Majority of that cast backstabbed her and tried to get with me. Majority of that cast backstabbed her.
Is there anything that you told Mika that you wouldn't want Maya to know?
No.
Obviously there was because.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a party boy thing and saying I get bitches. Yeah, I didn't want her to know that, and that's the whole thing. Like those two both equivalent, right? If I tell you I party a lot, why would you tell a girl that I'm interested in a party lot?
Why would you tell her that? Like what? Because at the end of the day, everybody on here is got their own back, and it's all strategy.
I was just a little naive.
So
I was just a little naive.
Why did you leave the pictures up on your page? And it looks like an ode to a couple. If she's obviously doesn't feel that way, why have you left the pictures up?
Because she doesn't feel that way because of that episode now. I would gladly take the pictures down if under my conditions. She takes down all those videos of me on her page. She sends me back my Valentine's Day gift that I just gave her.
Oh,
let's get to it, right? Because now, like, come on, let's be for real now, right? Let's do it because now you on Instagram promoting flat tummy tea soda, and you're trying to bash me and make it seem like I was just delusional this whole time.
She was always a flat tummy tea promoter. She was an Instagram. That's what she does. Don't do that.
No. Because now you're trying to make me seem like I'm delusional. I'm some type of stalker. I'm obsessed, and that's not the case. Just say you played games, and you played me. Congratulations. To make it seem like I'm delusional or anything like that is crazy. It's crazy. And I like to try to downplay our whole situation, which I'm fine with, but like just take down those videos of you bashing me. You're using negative images of me to promote yourself now. And I think that's not fair.
Positive images of her to promote yourself.
I'm not promoting myself. I don't have anything to promote.
With the post, if you guys hugged up, it is.
It was an apology to her.
Mo, can you step in as a big brother, little brother? Because when he said to give back the Valentine's Day gift, I'm gonna just step.
Well, I'm just a friend, and I'm delusional, right? So I was under the guise that wasn't the case.
This is the same. This is where I was going at before. At this point, the thing that you could do the most effective is, no matter what it looked like at this point, take the L. Keep it more. The asking for the Valentine. Now we in high school, junior high, possibly. Don't even do that. That sounds
like you're trying to make it seem like that's my whole thing though. She's trying to make it seem like I'm delusional or I'm crazy.
But
that's not the case. She's telling y'all one thing and we was on another time. So if that's the case, then just stand on your shit.
You were doing the right thing by leading the people to the receipts on the other show, on what she said on the all these different things. Lead the people to the receipts and let them really sort it out. I mean, you're here to do that, but to go, what do they say? They go low, you go lower.
I'm gonna take it to hell.
That's what women.
Don't do it.
That's not what a man should do. That's not manly at all.
Your strength is in walking away. I promise you. That's your power.
I did walk away though.
No,
that's the
you're
thing.
not. No, you're not.
Until she started attacking me.
But Laron, you can't. Let me tell you something. And I'm like, big sister, when you come to Atlanta, you Atlanta, we're gonna get in your behind. You cannot control what other people say about you. You have no control over that. All
Where's
you
the
have
loyalty
control,
though?
all you don't. All you have control over is yourself. And with you acting the way you are, it makes people believe her, right? It makes people believe because you're being extremely too emotional over somebody that it's like, okay, if she is acting like that, by you doing this, it looks like you really were into her more than she was into you. All you have to do is say, you know what? God bless her. Go do what you're going to do. And then when you walk away, you look like the bigger person. You don't look like the bigger person acting
Why
like
do
this.
I have to be the bigger person though?
Because you're the man. Do you want to be respected as a man or do you not?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
These people in the comments, they're going to go to the other show. They're going to put the receipts together, and you're going to see. I wanted to hit you yesterday and be like, man, take them damn pictures down.
Oh. Just let it go because I'm telling you the truth. Like, this is real. If you, the thing about it, I feel like this. That's a woman's power, is to make a man feel like she cared more than she did. That is our power. Because when you go to the strip club, I got friends, and Mo knows I clown them to death because when they go to the strip club, they'll be like, well, I got it. She didn't even make me pay for a dance. She actually likes to talk to me. I don't have to pay. She's playing you, and she realizes that's the long game, and that's the power of a stripper. They got game. They know how to talk to a man, make him feel like he's big and strong, and they're so excited. And that's the power of a woman. And I'm not saying I'm not saying I'm just saying a woman and a woman who is smart knows how to do that. And you show him your vulnerability. He wants to, it's a captain, it's to save, right. He wants to save her.
Brother isn't ignoring it and walking away and keeping it moving.
It changes the dynamic. Anybody, when you walk away, the other person is like, wait a minute, you're supposed to be chasing me. Come back and chase. And it changes the dynamic. But when you keep talking, posting pictures of y'all hugged up, it makes it look like you still have feelings for her. And it makes it look like you felt that way more than she did. So we're saying if that's true, then let it go. And just Laron, you have mentioned 3 or 4, 5, 6 times, I don't want to look a certain way. The best way to keep from looking a certain way is to carry yourself like a man, which is not to go back and forth with people. What did Lil Duval say? I ain't going back and forth with you. I'm not doing it.
Thursday, you know better than that.
I just don't like, bro. I'm too nice for people to try me, bro. And I don't really like when people try me.
No, I
really don't. Like, that's why I did what I did to Will. I did what I did to a lot of different cast members. It's like, why are you trying me? Why are you trying me? I'm not sweet just because I'm nice.
Right.
Like, I got you.
Right. Well, you up out of there, and the way you get her up out of there is just leave it alone. She'll be talking to herself.
At the end of the day, you're not going to change people's feelings about you. Either some people gonna rock with you, some people gonna rock with her. You can show every receipt, you can show everything you're doing, but people are gonna say what they want. And the quicker you can understand that, and I feel like you getting to that point. That's why the rest of the cast, the guys in the cast, are telling you. That's why they got your back, because they're trying to tell you, don't be worried about all this. All of y'all need to
rely on me on national TV is crazy.
But Laron, have you watched other seasons?
I've watched like Miami and a couple of.
Okay, so obviously those people didn't. You think those people wanted to look like they did on TV?
Yeah, for sure.
It's just, I mean, that's what it is. This is the beast. Once you get on that show, the executive producers can do what they will, and you guys give them the ammunition, and that's what they're going to do. That's their job. Ellen doesn't have a vendetta against you. They are doing what they can to make good TV, and you gave them some good content.
Wait till the reunion.
I'm sure. I am sure.
Man.
I am sure. What did you learn? What did you learn about yourself this season?
What
did I learn about myself? Shit. I ain't ready to love. You know what I mean? That's what I learned. Like, it's some bullshit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Other than that, it's just like I gotta learn better sentence structure in my interviews so they can't chop up shit. And if I'm gonna go on reality TV again, I need to have say so in the final draft of each episode.
You will not unless you're executive producer, which means you pay for it.
I need better negotiation power. That's what I learned from this.
But you pay for it, you won't ever have that unless you're executive producer.
You will go back on reality TV again?
Probably not for dating, honestly, because I don't really need it. I just don't. Like I did this really looking for love, and obviously,
thought you was gonna.
You said what?
You thought you were gonna find it on TV?
Hey, look. But look, I thought of this as like a social experiment. The TV, to me, is just for the fans. I thought the process was real. I swear to God, we met with fucking psychiatrists. I had to do like a 600 question test. Like once I started going through the process to be on the show, I'm like, okay, this must be legit. I didn't watch the other season, but yeah,
Laron, is there anything that you regret? Because watching that conversation with Koshia, obviously trusting Mika, is there anything that you look back outside of what I'm saying? Just I want out of your words. What do you regret? What would you have done differently if you could do this all over again?
I wouldn't eat on camera because they had me fucking up catfish for 1 minute straight out of a 2-hour conversation. I would never do that again. And then two, and I tried to do it during the show. I tried to stop drinking on the show. I even made an announcement in Tommy's Lounge. But then the producers just kept coming up to me yo, we need you to drink. We need you to turn this shit up. I wouldn't do that anymore. I wouldn't have been so easily influenced by what either the producers or other cast members were saying. I was totally green in this situation, man. I never was on reality TV. I didn't watch reality TV. And I thought this shit was real. And obviously it's not.
Well, some parts of it are not. I mean, they're going to take what you give them and manipulate it for good TV. But Laron, are you? Aries asked. She said, "Friend, we all go through that. Are you? Take the pictures down, Laron. If you have a big sister,
if she takes the videos down, I would take the pictures down.
Do you have a big sister?
No.
You needed one. You needed one. Because I'm telling you, if you were my little brother, I would take your Instagram passcode and I would take the pictures down because it looks worse than if you didn't even act like she existed.
I don't care though. That's the thing. I don't think y'all. I think y'all don't understand how far I am willing to go. I don't think y'all.
You are a Scorpio.
Oh.
Scorpio energy.
I don't think y'all understand. This is light work. This is light work. This is light work. I will take it to hell. I would take it to hell if I had to.
So you may not be ready to love. You may need some time.
I'm not. I can tell you that right now. I'm back in these streets. No, I'm good. I just don't have time for it, man. I'm back to just grinding. I'm trying to get a house next year. So, that's what I'm focused on.
Now, Laron, let me ask you this, because you're coming to hang out with us next month. Are you going to be able to share with the ladies? Because the panel is really about what Lamar was dealing with in a respectful way.
Oh yeah.
How, when women are very successful and they're career driven, how they can add a little syrup to their biscuits. Are you able to share are you going to be able to share your experiences without taking us to hell now?
Possibly. It depends on which experience. It depends on what experience we're talking about. I'll keep it focused on the good ones, right? I've noticed it when I started dating outside the professions that I usually date. That's when things, my last girlfriend was a doctor. The one before that was a lawyer. When I start trying to give people chances outside of people that are my social economical status, that's when things start going left. So I'm gonna just focus on the ones that were on my social economical status. I didn't think I was gonna be trying to date hairstylists and eyelash techs and people with no, I'm not no hood dude. You feel me? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Okay. Now,
That.
okay. Let's don't
No,
slander. Let's don't slander. So some of the ladies asked why we would invite Laron to be on the panel. The reason I invited Laron to be on the panel, and the reason I think that he will add diversity to the panel, is because every woman, this is for the Natural Hair Show, and there are women that come from 18 to 50. So we cannot only have men that are in their 40s. We have to have men of all ages. We have to have men that are in different places in their life. And we also want to make sure that we're catering so that women that are in their late 20s and in their 30s, they can hear from, men that are their age. So I think everyone's perspective is valid. So don't, no one can ask me. I picked the panel. No one can ask me why without, I could share it, but I really don't have to do that. I want to make sure that all ages are represented. We have professional guys. We have guys that are, a little alternative, maybe like promoters. We have, a guy that is a chef. Like we have an assortment of men, because that's what this world is made out of. Everybody is not in a certain at a certain place. So Laron, you're welcome, but just don't come with the foolishness. Come with honesty.
No, it's just this show. I swear to God, outside this show, like this shit would have never happened. Outside this show, trust me, we're gonna have a good.
What happened with you and the doctor?
She moved to like somewhere McAllen, Texas, which is like 9 hours from me, and I'm already 13 hours from my family. So like I work from home too, so I just felt like I would be her like a pet. You know what I mean? I'm just like, she made like 450 grand. I would just be in her house just working, and she would have all her, professional connections, and I would just be in the house as like her pet. And I couldn't do it.
What do you enjoy your career? Do you like what you do?
I enjoy it. I find it challenging. I find it mentally stimulating. So yeah, I'm always looking to expand and do other things as well. I actually have a startup company that I'm working with also. So yeah, I do.
Okay, so where is your family at? You said you're 13 hours away from them.
So I'm originally from Newark, New Jersey, and a lot of my family members moved out to Cleveland. So majority of my family is there. I got a sister in Jersey, and I got a brother in North Carolina.
I want to ask you really quickly. I know we're getting ready to get off. We've been on here a while, but I do want to ask you to speak to the conversation that, Mo is from that area as well. And there was a lot of people you mentioned, where you were from. And I know that Texas is very different. I'm from Ohio, but grew up in Oklahoma. And my family was like, it was culture shock, like going from Ohio to Oklahoma, and how, the people treat people, and what are consequences and repercussions for respect. Even here in Atlanta, there are no consequences or repercussions for disrespect, where back where I'm from in Toledo, Ohio, it's not quite like that. So I want to ask you, but it also caused another conversation, and about the fact of what is the difference between men from the East Coast versus men from the South?
Yeah, I mean, like where I'm from, people would die over their respect. They would literally, like, you step on their shoes, you look at them the wrong way, you talk to their girl, like, and that's not how I am, obviously. But like respect is a big thing. Respect is a big thing. Like, and I saw Mo's thing where he said, like, he didn't say good morning. Like, when I got down here, that's the thing. If I was in Jersey, if I walked around and say good morning, people would look at me like I was crazy. What you mean it's a good morning? Why gotta be a good morning? What you talking about? So like, it's a very big difference.
Like,
it's a very big difference.
People's houses and not spoke, because somebody said you speak. I go into buildings and I'm people are friendly. I'm friendly back, but I never walked in a room where I didn't know anybody. If it was a place of business, and I go there to handle my business. Now, if there's somebody in the front kind of hello and tell them my name, and you know what I'm saying, but I'm just saying in general, if we're walking down the street passing each other and someone says hello to me, that especially back then, I'm looking
at who is this?
Like because we just come from a place where minding your business is real serious. And if you speak and I don't know you, it just feels funny. And it's
Yeah.
well, nobody rude. I grew up with manners.
I think that people took it as an excuse for calling a girl a bitch in her face. And I think that's not an excuse, but I do think that men interpret disrespect differently in different places. But I think how you respond tells everything about you more so than where you're from.
Absolutely.
But before we get off this live, I just want to make it clear. I did not do that, which they confirmed that I did not do that. And also, I got screenshots from an unbiased third party who was with us that minute.
I saw that earlier. I saw that on your page, and there were screenshots from a person. I'm gonna go ahead and let me see if I can read them. Well, shit.
Oh, I gotta send it to you. I deleted them.
Oh, you deleted them. Okay, so that I did see where the person said, "No, you didn't say that." Now they said, to be honest, I don't know what you said privately, but publicly, I did not see you saying anything like that. So I can confirm that I saw that on your page. I do think that I would suggest to you, Laron, big sister to little brother, you may not want to call women bitches to other women.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't even do that no more.
Mo.
I'm just. I see women. I'm not like, I didn't know how sick. I know y'all didn't like it, but I didn't. The fact that I know right now, if I want to see y'all band together for a cause, all I got to do is say that one word. Y'all all gonna come running.
Yeah, for sure.
Mo did make a good point, which he's not made here. I think he's afraid of y'all because y'all been going in on him in the comments.
No, listen. I don't fall in love with the love, and I don't hate on the hate in here. I just was like, wow. I didn't think it was like. I didn't say anything to anybody. I was just playing devil's advocate. And they didn't joke.
But you said that you know that women will call each other that word and won't get upset about it.
But I really do, and I stand on this. I think they really have a problem when we say it for whatever.
Yeah. But if I tell them not to call me nigga, they'll get like, oh, you can't tell me not to do that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, I get it though. I get it.
I don't think a woman would say that if a man tells me not to call him that, I wouldn't call him that. Like, I may have called a couple. I can neither confirm nor deny. But I also may have called a couple of women. That's just a thing I've got. But I do try. There was a time when I never would refer to another woman that way. And I'm in that space again because I just feel like, and there's so many women that use it casually. It's a derogatory term. And I think as Black people, we have to realize that how we treat each other speaks to our younger generation. And you got to be positive. And the words you say, they end up as boomerangs that come back. So we're going to allow, before we get off of here, we got 2 minutes. Laron, we're going to allow you to give an apology, give a public apology.
For what?
If you feel like you should, apologize for the behavior that you displayed, not for saying that, because obviously you did not curse her out in the club, but just, I do think you were a little rough on Koshia. I think that was.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know about that one. You should see what she say to me. I don't know about that one.
Okay. So you don't feel like you made you did anything wrong?
Oh, I will apologize for the upcoming reunion. Well, let me go ahead and apologize for that before y'all gonna get on my ass. Let me apologize ahead of time for that. They had it was gonna be a mess. But other than that, nah. I don't feel sorry for people wronging me and me reacting.
There you go.
That's fair enough. Well, we're gonna hope that Laron takes the pictures down. We're gonna hope that Maya takes the posts down, the videos down, because at the end of the day, if you don't want this to define you, then you can't continue to harp on it. So the quicker you want people to move forward, the quicker you do.
Let that girl keep that Valentine's Day stuff, man.
Yeah.
Did you spend a lot of money on it? Laron, did you spend a lot of money on it?
My whole thing is you dog me, and then in your next video, you wearing what I gave you and promoting your flat tummy tea soda. Like, how does that work? Like, Like, what the hell? You dogged me on the post before to gain attention, and then to promote your stuff. Like, that's dirty work. That's dirty work, bro. That's dirty work. Like, and for me, I would never do that to her, bro. And for her just to like completely do a 180 on me is crazy. It's crazy.
But
It's
she doesn't
crazy.
know. Would you get back with Maya at any point?
Shit. Give somebody a chance to stab me in the back twice? Nah.
Because it feels like you would if she.
I thought about it, but then I was like, nah. So like before this even started happening, I was very conflicted. I kept talking to my friends, like, yo, should I go through with this? Because I really wanted to drop some bombs, but I was just like, they were just like, nah, just don't do it. Because it could have got a lot worse. I really wanted to drop some bombs, and I was just like, I was conflicted because even though she did me dirty, I still do care about her, right? And so I don't want to go that low. I really don't want to. Like, I
started this question by asking you, would you get back with her? And this is where we are.
But no, I wouldn't get back with her. She already showed me who she is. You get back
Let me
with
ask you this last question for me, and then Scorpio Moe can ask what he wants. Was Koshia upset with your pivot to Maya?
Absolutely. And that's the thing that kind of like with Maya that kind of messed me up, because Koshia used to tell me a lot of crazy stuff that like she alleged Maya said. And Mika was co-signing it, right? Because we were all on a three-way call. I could have took that as facts and started treating Maya dirty. But instead, I brought that to Maya's attention and said, yo, did you say X, Y, and Z? And she said, no. And then I believed her. I just took it like, okay, Koshia just probably hating. Obviously, Mika's hating. Like, I'm not gonna take what these people say as facts inside of my situation. I'm not gonna let outside noise affect my situation. So that's why I'm really upset about like all this, because like all those women were dogging Maya. Every last one of them, probably except for like Vanessa, Rashina, and Layleen. Other than that, even Patricia, the first girl that left, all of them dogged Maya. All of them. And I never took what they said as facts as her. I never did. I always.
Are you, aside from the beef, are you cool with Koshia now?
Nah, she like real salty about Maya. She was real salty about that. So nah.
No.
Nah. Cole ain't gonna speak to me. I think Cole really did like. I think it's like the reverse, right? Cole really liked me. I really like Maya, but it just never was like full circle. It's a dirty game.
Hey, I don't even know what to say. Well, Laron, I don't know what's going to happen at the reunion, but if you're apologizing in advance, we may have to have a party.
I'm actually hosting a party here in Dallas. We got like 20 to 30 previous season cast members coming out. We're hosting a party. It's in the same spot we did our premiere party. It's gonna be really dope. Man. We're gonna do some giveaways. We're giving away gift cards, a PlayStation 5. We're doing some awards and stuff. Last time we had roses. We'll see what we do this time.
Okay. Well, keep us posted. You never know. We may slide through. You just never know. You never know. But Laron, I really hope you I hope you see what everybody else sees.
I see it now. Yeah, because I'm outside of it.
Yeah.
As one of the cast members would say, I'm outside of the sunken place now. So.
And there's nothing wrong with being we've all been in a sunken place for somebody that we like a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
What's wrong with that? We appreciate you coming on. We'll definitely see what happens at the reunion, and we'll circle back with you. We'll definitely see you here April 27th, Saturday, April 27th. It's going to be at the Georgia World International Conference Center for the Natural Hair Show. We are going to be there Saturday at 1 p.m. So if you're here in Atlanta or if you're in the surrounding areas, make sure that you're here. Laron will have more information to share on his platform soon. And we're going to hope that by the time Laron posts the flyer, he will have deleted those pictures. But we're just going to hope that and see what happens. See what happens, Mo. You have
We'll see.
I'm good. I had a Koshia question, but I'm not gonna ask that. We cool.
What's
cool.
your Koshia question? I know Gun Boss had a Koshia question.
No, I just wanted to know, was she really that thick in person, or that was just TV?
No. That was one of the things that made me attracted to her.
Exactly. I knew it. All right, that's all I wanted.
Thank you, Laron. We'll see you soon.
All right, hold it down.
All right, y'all. The power of a woman.
Hey, man, you can use it. Your powers for good, or you can use your powers for evil. What y'all gonna do, ladies? We're gonna make the world a better place.
Well, I mean, if you make the world a better place for yourself, I mean, I am tired, Kojo. I am tired. That was a lot. That was a lot to break. That was a lot to unpack. Mo, what about your dating? You know what? I'm gonna say my dating tip before we get out of here real quick.
Oh, man.
My dating tip is women. I'm gonna switch it up and just say know your power. And I also think, you know what? The crazy thing about it is a lot of times we feel like the power or the dynamic shift is in the man's hand. And a lot of times it feels like it is because men do get a chance to choose who they want long-term relationships with. For the most part, men propose. But what we need to understand as women is your power is in your softness. If you guys listen to what Laron said, when he fell in love with her, because I'm going to say that's what it was, judging on the fact of how this is going, it was because she showed him her vulnerable side and he wanted to protect her. He wanted to save her. And I would just say to the women that those of us that are not used to operating in our feminine side and not operating in that vulnerable space, you would be surprised how powerful being a woman and being a woman in her fullness actually impacts a man. And actually that is strength. And so I would just say, be aware that you do have power when it's a man that you are attracted to, when it's a man that you see in a good light. Just know that you do have power, but the power comes not in what you have, but the way you treat him and the way you make him feel.
I love that. That's dope. I love that. I would say, fellas, this is like a family situation. Like, take your time. If you like a woman, it's cool, it's great, but don't be in a rush to introduce them to your close friends and especially family. Usually your close friends feel like family. So all of it's the same. Don't be in a rush. Know who you are dealing with. My aunt once told me, she was like, don't bring the women, this is like Thanksgiving, cookouts, barbecues, that you sleeping with just to be sleeping with. Bring the ones you really like around family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because, and then another reason you don't want to do that is because if you're not really feeling her and you just have her around, but your aunts or your sisters or your grandmother's feeling them or your mom's is feeling them, then they will invite her to the next thing and you like, she ain't gonna be around. And then you will show up. I remember the girl was in my grandmother's kitchen. I heard the voice and she in there talking to I'm like, I'm big got rid of you. She ain't here talking to my grandmother. Splitting my grandmother.
That's true, because I know as a friend, I definitely will be like, well, invite her to the party. I think I tell you to invite. Yeah.
You've done it.
I have. I'll do it again.
You don't do
if
that.
I like them, I'll invite them. So you guys definitely, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. It was interesting. We had no idea that Lamar and Chaz were visiting, but I would love to invite both of them back by themselves so we could actually have a real conversation. And they both have an extended invitation to come back if they are interested in doing that. We also would love to hear from the ladies, because we've heard a lot from the gentlemen this season, but I need the ladies to come on, because I feel like we need to hear the other side to that conversation. So we want to invite
Mika.
Yes, Mika.
All
the ladies. We want to invite the ladies to come on. So thank you guys for hanging out on a Tuesday night, going up on a Tuesday. We did it. We will not be here on tomorrow, but we will be back on Friday. And trust me.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about on Friday.
Yeah.
Last question, Mo. Have you ever asked for a gift back from a woman?
Nah, I think that is like super, super, super petty.
That was whack. That
Yeah.
was whack. You got to help him. He's a Scorpio. You need to help your Scorpio brother.
I would understand we can be petty when we get there and hold on to stuff, but not that though. That's so high school, maybe junior high. No.
All right. Well, you guys in the chat, like this conversation on your way out. We love you guys for watching, and we will see you Friday at 10 o'clock. All right. Y'all have a good one.
Easy.